Hello and welcome to Membership Quest again. Today is going to be a fun topic that we're all excited about, and today we're going to be talking about content. So we call it the digital membership content and more than just a message. So really we'll get into the details here and we'll start talking a little bit about it. So I'm Andrew.
I'm Cara. Hello, Questers.
Yeah, and welcome to Membership Quest. So we're all about, um, the vision to designing to helping implement your membership and courses online. And we're here to help, with all the tech dragons along the way and turn those tech dragons into friends, right, Cara?
Exactly. In fact, this is MQ.
Oh, nice.
Our little dragon here. So
Nice.
exactly. This is what tech dragons can be. They can be soft little friends. So
All right.
just keep that in mind. All right.
All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the what we're going to talk about, and why don't you introduce the topics here? So we'll pull those up here.
Be happy to.
And
Again, welcome and let us know where you're from and what kind of membership you're working on in the comments. So digital membership content, more than the message, building context and value to serve your members. So we're going to be diving into a few different things in this episode. So all about content. First, we're going to cover why do I care about content? Exactly what it is. It is what you think it is, but it's also a few more little things. We're going to talk about video because that is a very big part of content these days. And then content bundles and the content hub, which is where it's going to live. And then say this 5 times fast, building content context. We're going to go into that as well and how important that is. And finally, we're going to cover different monthly membership content, a framework that we call G.R.I.S. So we're going to dive into that a little bit too.
all right, that's exciting. So, and again, kind of, it's all about content and in everything that we do in marketing, and also for our memberships and courses. Because how do you get that value, and how do you build that interchange with your people? So, let's dive in here a little bit.
Right.
All right.
So firstly, what is content and why do I care? And I am, as you know, the the Membership Quest content warrior. So content I love and adore and always. So I'm pretty passionate about this. What is content? It's what you think it is. It's the words. It's the visuals. It's the video. All of that is content. And we're going to also share that content is all those things, but it's also how we share it and when we share it. And that's going to provide context a little. Stay tuned for that part because that's really important. And also remember that good content, that's why your members are in your membership and the people that you're serving. So your content is really, I've been hungry lately, I guess, so I've been using a lot of food analogies, but it's like this banquet that you can serve your customers. But too much of it at the wrong time is not enjoyable. So when it's dripped and it's in a good series and it's consumable, then your membership community is just going to really want to eat that up, and they can't wait to get more. So we're going to look at that a little bit as well.
Nice.
And content, as we see here, it is the 3 main content types are. There's a bazillion of them, but we can break them down into text, like written word. Like more visual things, video and audio, which goes along with that, and images. And then also live things like lives like we're doing here, webinars, Zoom meetings, other kind of meetings, that kind of face-to-face kind of thing as well. So all those are content types.
Yeah, and I think, as you brought a minute ago, Cara, that ultimately, these content is so important, and so everything that we do, especially online, there has to be some type of communication, whether it's live or through text and posts and through videos, and like we're doing now, is it live or is it pre-recorded? But definitely understanding these and the intricacies on how to deal with them online is going to be kind of a fun topic to go through. So
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Excuse me. And then primary ways to deliver our content. I mean, back in the day, everything was written, and it was all, it was email, or it was a PDF or an ebook or something like that. Nowadays, content is all of that. It's web content, it's social posts, it's written, it's emails, it's that kind of thing. It's also the videos and the ways to deliver those. So we can, if we have video, we can embed a link on a website. We can have that link in an email, and we can even put that in a downloadable PDF nowadays, and they can link to the video that way. Your web hub or your content delivery place is also a place that content is delivered. So there's a lot of creative ways, and the fun thing about content, I think, is the interplay between the message of that content and how it's presented. And to me, that combination really makes it valuable to your user, to our users. Just, if it's just dry content put out there, it's not very engaging. But I think when all of those things play together, the visual, the words, the feeling even behind it, that's really when content resonates with people.
Yeah, and you kind of hit it in the head too, that how we displaying content and from a tech side is getting more and more interesting too.
Yes.
We on our membership site, we host videos on a different server. We send a link, or we have a link embedded into a custom post type that's dynamically generated on a video player, where now we can start customizing. Does it pull up subtitles? Is it, how is it played? Is there any other embedded chapters? Does there's a link to other files or other things that are linked with it or associated with those content types? So really, it's just becoming more and more exciting time for how to deliver content. But on what Kara's point, and I really think is a great thing, is that it's not just about the tech, and it's not just about the content. It's how it's all an experience to deliver. And we're going to talk more about this, but building context within, what you're trying to share and learn and teach. So
That's a really good point. Really good point.
Go to the next thing here. So let's see. Back to our membership site building blocks. Why don't you talk a little bit more about this?
Exactly. Yeah, this is kind of where we talk about this as our roadmap through building an online membership or course, and all the building blocks that are part of a rich membership experience. And content, which is way over on the right side with the blue arrow, actually that's where we put the content hub, but content is in every piece, every building block. There's content for social, there's content for email, there's content on our websites, in our sales funnels, our subscription, thank you pages, and welcome emails, that kind of thing. And certainly in the communications portal, Facebook groups, pages, all the places. There's just so many places that content weaves in through all of these building blocks. So it's really an exciting thing. It really is.
Yeah, and I'll just add in here that we talk about, Cara, we talk about if we'll look at that chart again, but really it's all about delivering content. Actually, let's pull it up again, but it's all about delivering content within the right content at the right moment for what they're ready for in the customer journey, from a perspective of when you're getting to know people online, right? And then the second part is then once you're delivering content and you've built that relationship, they're a member of your course or they're a member of your membership, and you are now delivering content based off of the success of their transformation and learning what they want to learn, right, Cara?
Exactly.
And so when you're, I teach, martial arts, and, Cara does as well. And so one of the things that when you bring in a new student is that, you are not going to teach them advanced stuff the first day. You're going to learn how to fall, and you're going to learn how to tuck your chin, and you're going to learn how to move your body and work on your steps. And so definitely have to deliver the content in right places. And I think that's where the content bundling and themes really come in, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But
Yeah.
I like
that's
this.
that's just such a good point, Andrew. Such a good point. Yeah, that you can't. Yeah, the best content is, like you said, the right content at the right time and presented in the right way for a person to get benefit from it. Because, I think we all can understand that feeling of we want to be here and understand all this stuff, but we can't until we get there. So delivering content at the right time is crucial.
And understanding again where people are at, and I kind of bring that down into. I remember a fun memory of a story of when teaching Japanese. We did Japanese class 101 in my house with all my students one day, or one a few months a while back, and definitely it was a journey. And sometimes you are excited to teach, so you start introducing concepts to them probably sooner than they are ready for it. And while people are excited, there's, when you start seeing those blank stares, you're like, okay, let's slow down a little bit and go backwards and start to learn together. So
Right.
Definitely a fun experience. So
Yeah.
all right. So we're going to start going through the next topic, which is start to how to bundle this content and how to deliver this content to in contextual ways. And we're talking about how to build context, building content context, right? Like Cara said, let's say that 5 times in a row. And if you could say that 5 times in a row in the comments, that would be great. So building that content context. So when we go through this, the first thing are, what are these bundles? And we talked about it's a bundle is a group of lessons or themes around a topic for your members' consumption. So these could be, we'll talk about the specific types of these, but realistically, our first membership, we do a fitness membership, and we have a lot of videos out. So we have a video library, over 200 videos. And so while these are a great asset and a great resource for your members, right? We talk about that people start to get overwhelmed because there's too much information, right, Cara?
Exactly.
And even though we give them abilities to do great searches and great filters and double filter down and maybe, but ultimately you want to deliver that content based off of when they're ready for it on that path. Or we'll talk about different parts of your membership flow and cycle. So how do you keep people interested and engaged throughout that membership cycle? Or if it's as part of your success journey of you have specific stages that you're trying to deliver throughout their journey as well. What's your thought on the bundling, or, Cara?
Yeah. And again, it gets to it's just another explanation of the right content, right time, right presentation. So bundling, when everything has a theme, it's not just all these things. They all have a theme, and there's some cohesion, and there's a reason why in your brain. I think they've done studies that your brain looks for similarities, it looks for context, and when it doesn't find it, it tends to make things up. Like, that must correlate with that because it's all there. And when we, as membership creators and course builders, design our content to be around a certain theme, then our learners can really just grab onto that and go, oh, I got it. It gives a mental comfort as well and helps learning really progress.
And as you see me kind of jumping around here, sorry, we're still learning the systems and getting back. So I appreciate everybody being consistent. So the bundles is where it begins. And then we're going to talk a little bit about now, how do we do it? We'll talk a little bit about how to do it through tech, but how are we actually bundling things up? And so these could be playlists, web pages, emails, downloadables. And you think of an email as just an email, but actually emails are groups of content, right? And you're bundling it based off of a content, whether it's a drip content of a specific reason for them to be downloading it, or maybe there's a newsletter of the month, or maybe you're in a course and you're getting email dripped throughout the course or challenge to keep people in sync. So we're all kind of learning through that together.
Exactly.
And then, of course, downloadables, PDFs, those have links in them or other things. So again, different ways to bundle. And then the true power is really where we see is content hubs. And this is where we're starting to see, more context built in maybe the success of your students throughout a certain path, and you're introducing it all in one masterclass area or one area of theme. And this is where you may have groups of bundles or other things, and that's and we call it sequential consumption. You want to, if you in a masterclass, you want to take class 1, 2, 3, 4, or a topic playlist like learning how to do Japanese, or we'll talk about link custom post types, which a course is a link custom post type where you have a course, a module, and then within each one of those there's a lesson. So do you have anything to add on any of these things, Kari? Definitely useful.
Yeah, we're going to show a little example, a little visual example of a way to bundle some videos in a really simplistic but tech-driven. I mean, it looks really simple to the user. This is our fitness platform right now, and remember, this has 250 videos on the back end. So, wow, way too many for a brain to think about, or, oh my God, I don't know where to start. So we started doing the workouts of the week. And originally, I'll just share a little journey of our content journey on this. Workout of the week originally was in the Sunday email, and it had a theme of the week, and then it was like one video to do for the week. And then, yeah, remember that, Andrew? It seemed so long ago. And then that just wasn't really resonating with our members and our users. So then Andrew had this great idea, like, why don't we, and our fitness partner as well, why don't we instead bundle all the weekly workouts like into a thing? We call it a WUG because we love it, and make it really easy for them just to look at what they're going to be working out for the week and do each video every day, and then they're done, and they don't have to go into the layers and find that video and that kind of thing. And now it's just this simple, beautiful little chunk of content that's delivered in the right way at the right time, gives them a lot of value, and they can spend their time doing the workout instead of finding the content and then took too long, I'll get to it later. So again, that's another beauty of well-designed content is just helping people use it effectively and efficiently and enjoying the process.
Yeah. So, you mentioned, we got a lot of feedback as that, it's a little bit overwhelming, and even with the emails, and you get an email every Sunday, and, do I need to go back to my emails and stuff? So really, ultimately, we want to have a streamlined one place for everybody to go. They know what everybody's working on, and we have a very simple thing for them to do, and it's not overwhelming. It's not a lot of things. It's 1 step, 2 steps, and Monday you log in, you click on the thing, you do your workout, and now if you want to do more, there's other things for you to do, and definitely there are people that do a lot of stuff. But we noticed too that there was a fun story about where potentially somebody was coming in the workout of the week. We then also had challenges once a month or every other month, and then they might have been working with a coach at the same time. So there was one fun story that they actually did the workout of the week, they did then the challenge workout, and then they were doing the coaching session saying, I'm getting a little tired, and they're like, oh wait, you don't have to do all three. And that's really on us. That how do we lead people through and lead people through that consumption? And that's a little bit more of that last context we'll talk about in a little bit. But ultimately, it's really on us to kind of lead people through this topical consumption. But there's lots of different ways to do it. And also your software as a service or your web pages that you build for your custom WordPress membership really can help along that path. But ultimately, it's up to us as the membership, operators to make that an easy win. So let's move on to the next one, Cara. So let's take our intermission. You can't see behind my name, but it says Inconceivable. Here, we'll click on things. Inconceivable.
Inconceivable, I think.
Yes, and so if anybody is watching this either on the replay or right now, if you know there's a scene. This is a fun scene, and this is a scene between the two actors, and they're to see which glass of wine is poisoned, and they're having kind of a battle of wits. So if you remember whose glass of wine was poisoned, then put that in the comments to see, or if you know the name of this. So this is a fun movie, so definitely haven't seen this in a while, so it's kind of a fun little
it's time.
Fun little
Princess
break.
Bride.
Princess.
Classic.
Cara just gave it away, so.
Oh, sorry.
That's the one.
Sorry.
So if you're watching this on replay, it's not till the end, so you're okay. All right.
Right.
We're going to talk about the framework now, Cara. Here we go.
Yes, which we've labeled G.R.I.S. So membership content, again, we talked about what it is, how to present it, and the timing of presenting it, and those are all really key things. I think the fourth part of that square or that bucket is different kinds of content, and they all have different purposes, because if you think about different content pieces, not everything has the same purpose or the same outcome or the same goal for the reader. So we call this G.R.I.S. There's a G.R.I.S component to our framework, and we envision this as being monthly content. So say once a week, one of these content pieces will be given out to our members. So the first one is guided content, and that is content that's about kind of what's going on this month, what's happening in this module or the stage of the learning journey or the course that we're teaching or that kind of thing. And it really sets the stage for the month and gives people, again, kind of that mental calmness of, okay, I know where I'm going. I can just focus on learning. I don't have to think about what else is coming at me. It's like, oh, we're going down this path this month. Okay, cool. I can't wait. Now I'm kind of pre-primed neurologically to know what's coming and be expecting that and be excited about it. So that's the G. That's
and so real quick to add on that, Cara, if you don't mind, is that so guided. Think about, again, Cara mentioned, maybe this is monthly, but also this could be weekly. If you're really into maybe a challenge or other things, it could be daily, right?
Yep.
And so think about that. We're building context within these timeframes for help them consume or communicate or participate to build that engagement, and kind of went down to that simplicity part of, how do we make it easy for people that have already bought into that they want to make that transformation in their lives and in the journey of their, joining this content of this membership, right? So we're helping them guide because they've already said, I bought into this thing. So hopefully, we can then lead them to saying, hey, as a team, we're going to do this, or as a membership, we're going to do this. And so, maybe we do it as a monthly and then let everybody know at the beginning of the month, here's all the stuff that's going on. And then each week, maybe we send out an email or a lighter version of that. So, or a pin post or whatever, lots of different ways to do that types of stuff.
Exactly. Yes. Good point. Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else on guided?
No, that's it. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Like you said, pin posts, drip membership emails, portal content, that kind of thing. That's the place it can live. The next one is the R, and it's the rally content. So again, rallying or challenging, doing a challenge around the topic, building momentum, engagement with your group of people, excited people. This can be, we have, like we said, a fitness a fitness membership. So we have been doing a challenge like every other month. And that's really exciting content to get people excited and engaged and looking forward to the next one. It can also be a rally about a certain area of the topic. Like this is kind of a maybe not a sticky point, but like a big step. So rallying them about that, like, yeah, we're going to get through this. It's going to be awesome. Just hang tight and we'll get through it together. It could also be a not really master class. That's going to be in the next one, but more about just really, engaging with people and like, this is going to be exciting. We're all in this together. That kind of feeling.
And one of the big things with content, and we've been seeing that the most important thing is that people in your membership, the more they consume the content and the more they engage around it and are excited about it, ultimately your content is built around helping them transform and grow and learn. And so the more they are engaged and excited about it, the more I think it's effective in the reasons why we're building that content out, right? And so that rally behind of that, we put the goal out for everybody. Let's go for this. So Cara mentioned on our fitness site, and we have we're introducing a challenge every month, and that's based around the success path of that month as well. So as you have different success paths, you're going to have different goals and different ways to approach that. And so all those should be built around the content and also guided around the content. Even if you look at our challenge, it has, hey, are you ready? Here's the steps to follow. Here's what you do. And then in ours, we also have every challenge that we start, we actually have a drip series of emails that are automated that then when we click on it, we send it out. And then every X days of the challenge, you're going to get an email that Cara's written out this amazing instructions and this amazing stuff that is going to help you. Maybe there's some additional tips. Maybe there's some additional food to eat or recipes or go shopping for some extra things. But, this, the rally also contains guided and also contains the content that could have other uses. But I think this is a beautiful way, and the more we learn together. So if you have a challenge below, put a comment in. We'd love to hear your, what challenges you do or rallies you do during the month to get your memberships engaged. Because we definitely learn from each other. Because the more we hear and interchange with each other, we're gonna continue to grow and learn about this stuff. So
yeah, really good points. Really good points.
Hit the next one, Cara.
You betcha. I is for instruct. So, yeah, I mean, all through this we're instructing, but this is really the kind of the meat of the membership or the course. So it's about, like, it could be a master class, so with that really concentrated, yummy content, or it can be a content bundle. So the related content shared in different ways, a video, an email, and a blog article to write. That's all about the same kind of thing. And yeah, giving people the information that they need to progress, like you said, Andrew, is just crucial. And seeing that transformation and progress. And it can be little progress, but progress is just vital to this whole thing. Yeah. What else do you have to say about instruct content, Andrew?
Not much. Like I said, this is the meat of it. And, some memberships are built around community. And maybe there's community content to help maybe understand topics or ideas, but a lot of places are built around mastery and learning content, and learning to instruct, and then the bundles of that together, right? But definitely, this is a pretty common thing. So let me go to the last one here.
Yeah, the last one is support. So this again is it's a little bit like rally, but I look at it as a little bit more person to person, even though it's not person to person. So it's doing lives with your peeps, or support calls, or coaching, or Q&As, or that kind of thing, and kind of that interchange, and that going a little deeper around sticking points and questions that people have to keep them, again, keep them having momentum and success and that feeling like, wow, I'm making progress here. I love this feeling. Yeah, it's a nice way to always end if we're looking at whatever time frame, monthly, weekly, daily, whatever. It's nice. It's kind of a nice bookend. With guide gets you started, and support content gives you that like celebration almost, like, or answering the questions, like, so you can keep going. So it's kind of a nice bookend to feel too.
Yeah, and a few things on support. And nowadays, there's lots of different ways to do this. And one of the big things is Zoom calls. Everybody knows Zoom. We're probably tired of Zoom at this point, or Google Meet. There's webinar formats to this where it's really there's multi-channel where you're either communicating to them and they're able to ask questions, or it could be like a Zoom where you're back and forth. And then it could be a coaching where it's one-on-one. And so how do we use tech in all these? We'll talk more about this as we go forward, but live videos again, how do you get people signed up? One of the really unique things with these types of content, and especially for memberships, is how do you get your members synced to sign up for these things? When you got to get them excited about the route, the guided content.
Right.
This is what we're happening. This is when we're doing it. And then on our membership, we have a monthly kind of a board of what's going on, of all the monthly content, and then they have links to then sign up to basically be notified, and then that then sends them a link to get it on your calendar, and also get your link to your call. So one of the things that, I don't know, a while back, it really synced to me, like, when you have events, paid events or other events, there's a lot of times there's really no special function that controls who paid for the event. The only really unique, most platforms, is that URL, right? And so really protecting that URL behind your member gate, we'll talk about that in maybe some future community episodes, right, Cara? How to build your portals and your community around that. But having access to that unique link is really what could be through an email, it could be on your private Facebook group, it can be embedded on your platform. But ultimately, it's the link that really drives those things. So, but again, guided, you need to guide them to when to consume that and why it's important, the rally. And then during those calls is really about support and coaching and your chance to interchange and provide value and give them more context, because they're going to now be able to answer questions. So, that's all about support. So,
yeah, well put.
So,
yeah.
Chris, maybe we'll come up with a future funner thing. If you can think of a better better for thing, but let us know. But if it's appropriate, but definitely it's a fun way to kind of remember that it's all about content and how do we deliver that content.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Good. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, let's recap what we talked about a little bit.
Yeah. So content recap, and yes, this is content about content. We couldn't resist. So we talked about what is content, and again, that's text, video, audio, downloadables, emails, all of that stuff is content. And remember, for me, the biggest takeaway from this whole thing is that content is all of those things, but equally as important is how it's delivered and when it's delivered. So we talked about that. We also jumped into video. Anything to add about that, Andrew?
I think for all these, it's just like, I think the big thing is that we're using content to help people along the way. And you have a membership or a course that's really helping people learn or do something, or transition or transform themselves into something. But the content is really about what you're doing and then giving more context into that content. That's the way I think about it, maybe, is that, the more simplified you give them, because if you're running this membership or this mastery course or whatever, that you're the leader and you're trying to help them transform themselves through your experiences, and I think about when you teach martial arts, like I've been doing a long time, Carl's been doing a while, you tend to learn and grow, and then you have experiences that you want to share with others, and that's why they're working with you or joining your membership. And so you want to give them experiences themselves, and then you have to do it in a way that makes sense and is sequential in the right time at the right place. So, Cara talked about it in so many different ways that helps provide some ideas there. So I think content is just a fun thing. And now the rest of this is all about, maybe we'll go real quick about, we talked a little bit about this, this map here is that there's so many building blocks in your membership, whether it's during building an audience, if you're doing your email marketing and you're building your list, you're doing sales and you're bringing people to your offer, or you're running your community. It's really all, about that content and when to deliver it and do that. So definitely, Cara, you had some really good thoughts there. So
yeah, it's
getting
really
back to
all
the
about
spot
content.
again. So
It's all about content. Yeah. And then we talked about video, and we all know how important video is. How important video is. And it's content. And it's visual, it's engaging, it gets a lot of good usage, SEO, it helps people find you out there. So talked about some of that, where to host it, where you can post it then, where you can put that link, that kind of thing.
yeah.
And then Andrew dived in, I'll let you dive in that, but content bundles and a content hub.
Yeah, again, just about building that context and we're going to talk a lot about this in technology because with video, and Cara talked about this and a little bit, is that video is a special thing, and we did briefly talked about that, but where it's hosted, and we didn't really get into the detail part of it. But one thing about video is that really think about it's large file sizes. You need to have a hosting platform that actually can handle getting it out to you quickly. And then, the best practices of where to display it and each of the platforms, Instagram's real short, Facebook's, 3 minutes, and YouTube's longer. But also for your courses, if you're hosting it, you can't you can, I guess, but most people don't throw it on their web servers because then, it may be a slow experience and then your people are not going to enjoy it. But then there's costs involved, and then there's, privacy and security. So are people able to download it? Can they scrape it or do other things with it? So we want to make sure we protect that content in those videos. And so that adds an extra layer of complexity. And we want to make sure that that we know how to handle it and kind of deal with that in a way. And we got some fun experiences, and we would love to hear how everybody does it when we get deeper into this. But there's lots of different ways to do it, and there's low cost and high skill, and high cost and low skill. And it's all about designing your membership. And we're gonna little secret thing come in, by the way, that we're working on our nice opt-in guide to talk about how to design your membership site and courses. And it's really, pretty beefy. So we're trying to, make sure not to get too excited about it, but there's a lot of stuff about how to design it, and then what are the things to think about it, and cost and skill level needed for that experience. Exactly. But that's to come. So don't get just soon.
Do get excited.
Okay, get excited, but it's coming.
Get excited, but it's coming. It's coming. We're so excited. Yeah.
So, I think that's a good recap of pretty much. And then you talked about the G.R.I.S model a little bit, right, Cara?
Exactly. Yeah, just different purposes for content. No matter what it looks like, different purposes for different content. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. We'd love to hear your experiences with content. And definitely content is all where it's at, and having a little fun. There's our friend down there.